Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our call for tonight. And we are going to jump in, and I'm going to go ahead and enable the chat here. And I think that you are now enabled in the chat, so I can see your questions. And we're going to do a little talking about uh, uh, Canva tonight and the Canva PLR. With that, we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm not going to have my camera on tonight. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of share my screen and my slide presentation, and we'll kind of go from there. And let's go ahead and dive in. Let me grab the presentation. All right, so I think you can see my screen, and I think I can see your questions. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so we're going to talk tonight about how you can use the DFY, and that's not what we're going to focus on here tonight. That's just kind of what I headlined this with, and just kind of briefly, um, I suggest that whenever you're trying to sell a PLR course, depending on your audience, that you pre-sell it. And and in this way, what you're doing is you're really not depending on um, uh, the current pricing mechanism. So what you're going to do, obviously, is you're going to make sure that your customers know what they're going to get, and you're going to kind of present to them why they need it. And so, if unless you're selling to online internet marketers that don't know anything about launches on Warrior Plus, then what you want to do is you got to kind of pre-sell it and kind of get it into context. So that's what I suggest you do in order to get people ready for it. And while I do believe in lead magnets, I think you've got to have a very good lead magnet, and I think you've got to kind of get people into your marketing funnel, and you've got to kind of get them used to getting recommendations from you. So even though you might have a lead magnet that's connected to this, I don't know that the process is bring a person in with a lead magnet, immediately show them the offer about this. I think that it takes a little longer for people to take a recommendation from somebody that they don't know. Now, if you already have your list, then obviously what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sending out, your offer on your server and, with your bonuses, and you're going to recommend that people buy it from you, right? That's a different thing than getting someone into that doesn't know you and getting them in based on a lead magnet and then making the sale for that product immediately. For an information product, I don't know that that's the way it's going to work in this case. I do know from experience that if you kind of teach people, you train them, you give them a reason as to why they should take the next step with you, whatever that is. Like if you're going to sell this just as a straight information product, then I think that that's an easier sell, right? So now the problem might be getting people on a webinar, but that does work, right? Kind of getting people and giving people a reason as to why they need it. So always when you can, try to pre-sell. And that's what we use. That's why we give you the DFY Live Masterclass, quite honestly, because I know that you may not want to be in front of people. You may not want to teach live. I know that, Toastmasters has made a decade or a living on getting people to learn how to present and speak in public and to ask for the sale. But it's still not something that comes natural, and it's not something everybody wants to do. And so, what I suggest you do is that you take the DFY and either let my voice play, or you let your voice play. If you say you're going to let my voice play, you call me your trainer, and then you say, "Well, we've got a trainer. I'm going to come in here at the end. I'm going to tell you where to get everything." Right. And then you come in at the end and you give them the call to action with your bonuses, with your offer, and you go through a basic offer slide, or you go through a basic offer offer sequence. So that's the way I would suggest that you take PLR and kind of redo it. And then you're not really constrained by pricing that's in our market, because the pricing in our market is going to be kind of low because we, as online internet marketers, we tend to buy at wholesale, and everybody knows that in our business. But if you go outside of our market, people are paying more for information products. They expect to pay more for information products. And so you want to sell it at that level, but you're just going to have to pre-sell it, right? So it's a different mechanism, but it still works. And again, that is why you use a DFY. You use it as a way of pre-selling because I don't have anything in there that's personal, right? So there's no personal information in there. There's nothing that would tell them that it's me unless they know my voice. And even if they do, they know me as your trainer if they bought your products, right? So that's what you use the DFY for. So again, me either use your voice or just let my voice play. All you're going to add in is a call to action. And you can do that visually, right? On the screen. You could say, you could put in a slide that comes in at the end. It could be silent, doesn't have to be any voice. And it just plays for about 30 seconds with the offer, right? Where to get the offer. Or you could come in at the end, which I kind of suggest that you do, and you do one slide that kind of talks about what your offer is. They get the video course, they get 15 minutes with you, they get this bonus, and they get that bonus, and they get that bonus, and then the last 30 seconds of your presentation, nothing has to be said. The only thing they should be looking at on screen is your offer. So your offer needs to stay up there so it sticks. The last thing that they should see when they walk off of your webinar should be your offer. And people who teach from the stage or sell from the stage, they might do that offer in the middle, right? Before the presentation even ends. So you could break into the DFY. You could say, hey, I just want to let you know, in case that you're pressed for time, we are going to be sharing something with you at the end. I'm going to just run through it right now. You're going to get blah, 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 blah. You can go right here to get it. Those of you who get it today, I'm going to give you something, whatever you're going to give them special, right? You could do that right in the middle of the DFY. So you can use the DFY either as pre-sale training, or you can use our voice. Um, you want to take that pre-sale training, whether you do it or whether I do it, and you want to post it then to your YouTube, whatever your YouTube channel is. And here's what I feel about YouTube. You do not have to be a YouTuber. And I know that, right now, like if you go to YouTube right now, you got all kinds of videos that say, well, this is what you got to do in 2023. This is video SEO. If that's not your primary business, if that's not where you're going to build your following, and that's not where you're going to try to be an authority and a celebrity, then you do want to post there, but you don't have to make it so that it's overwhelming. Some people go to YouTube right now and they get overwhelmed because they look at all the teachers saying, well, you gotta have a thumbnail and you gotta do all these things. And that's all true, right? They all really do help your optimization, but you don't have to do them. And that's just not your primary business model. You're not necessarily trying to um, make that a monetizable feature of your business, right? All you're really doing is you're trying to attract a few people, give them a place to watch this live training, and then making a sale. Now, I do have a bias about YouTube right now, and I realize that my bias is that I think I pay the $19 a month, so I don't know what it's like to experience watching ads and then having you sell something, right? So that is an issue, that you're going to have ads playing on top of whatever it is you deliver, right? So, and not everybody's going to have YouTube Premium. So I know that I have a bias about that, and that you might not be able to see yourself making sales because of the ads that are going to be playing on top of it. But most people are ad blind, and they will ignore those ads if you have good content, right? We sort of make that content so that whether you deliver it, whether I deliver it on your behalf, it's going to be engaging for you. So post that recording to your social media, post it to your YouTube, or you can put it inside of an auto webinar. So let's say that you have a list already. None of you all have lists. You got a membership already. I suggest that um, you put the DFY on a watch page, right? In your membership, drive people to that page, and put a buy button on there, right? Put a buy button right under there and say, at the end, well, hey, now that you've learned this, you need to learn the basics of how all these things work, you can go get it here, right? That's all your call to action really has to be. Or if you just want to be silent, you just want to put the buy button there after they do the training, you could just put on top of the buy button that says, learn the fundamentals of what you've seen just in this training, right? You can use that DFY any way you want. You've got unrestricted rights. So be creative in how you use it in terms of letting it fit into your business. And so, yeah, you want to do a call, you want to add the call to action. And I suggest that when you do a call to action, that you have what I think Russell Brunson calls the stack. And so you want to have the stack. So in other words, the last thing people should see, it should be the 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 the, the PLR course, right? Whatever you renamed it, plus the bonuses, plus your scarcity, right? Remember, we talked about that last week that you need to add some scarcity. You should add some urgency to it, that they're not going to be able to get it unless they do these things by this time. So make sure those elements are there. Make sure your bonuses mitigate all their potential objections. So you know their objections, you're mitigating. All those things should be on that last slide. Bonus one, bonus two, bonus three. And you might feel like it's a little crass. I personally don't do this part of it where I assign a dollar amount to each thing. I think there's anything wrong with doing that because I do it. That's just because I've not built my business on that basis. It is direct response. It does work, and you do need to do it unless you are positioning yourself as a trainer. If you're not positioning yourself as a trainer or an educator, then I think then that you could do it, right? If you're trying to make sales and you try to put that last slide on there, you do need to assign a dollar amount to those bonuses and everything they're going to be getting. So at the end they say, oh, well, this is, now you could be honest, you could be realistic, right? You could say, well, this bonus, if you went to buy it on my site, right, or your site, this is what it'll cost you. And still, if you add up all the bonuses, it's going to add up to more than what you're asking them to pay, right? You add up all the bonuses. If you want to give them a real dollar amount, most people say, well, this thing is worth $10,000. This thing is worth $20,000. You don't have to do that, but you could put the dollar amount there if they would actually go and buy it. And then you tell them, well, hey, this would, if you actually were to buy all these bonuses from me, and when I say from me, I mean from you. If you actually went to buy these bonuses, it would be $397, right? But I'm only asking you for 37, right? That's what you would say. So you could use the DFY as a strategy bonus. So in other words, you could just say you can use that as one of your bonuses. So let's say that the objection to buying PLR is, well, I don't know how this necessarily fits in what I'm already doing. I don't necessarily use, let's say, Canva every day. Doesn't necessarily fit. I don't really understand how I would make it monetize. So if I went and I get the pro account, how am I going to monetize that? And what you would say is that, this our training, right? You'd say, well, the DFY training is going to tell them how to do all that. And you're going to include that as a bonus. You could do that as part of your offer, right? So let's say that you decided, well, you're not gonna you're not going to use the DFY for your live training. You're gonna do your live training yourself and pre-sell it. Well, then what you do is you'd say, well, we got a trainer that teaches strategy on technical platforms. And so we're going to give you that, right? We're going to give you rights to use it. If you want to put it on your website to give to other people, we're going to give you those rights, rent. Because remember, you could do that since the rights are unrestricted. I say set everything up in a course platform. Whatever your course platform is, I see a bunch of you all here. Some of you all use Wishlist Member. Some of you all use Wishlist Member and Optimized Press. Whatever it is, you want to get people used to number one. And I don't know, there's a term for this, and I don't know what the proper term is. That you want to get people, number one, clicking the button that they're going to have to get used to clicking in order to buy things from you, even if it's free. So let's say they come to you, you want to get them inside of your course platform by any means necessary. And you want to do that with the buy button that you normally use. Again, it is a conditioned response. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get people so that when you finally ask for their money in an offer, you want it to be a process you're familiar with. Oh, I've been through this before. I've clicked on that link before. I've gone to the course platform. I've got my login and password. I've logged in. Because you'd be surprised. Sometimes people who have never done that with you before, they're thinking, I don't want to go through another process with another information marketer. Their process is going to be different. And so I might back away. But if you got them used to it, you're trying to get them used to it with your free stuff, right? So you continually drive people to people inside your course platform. You got to get them to do two things. Number one, click your buy button. The buy button, you normally get them to buy things. Number two, put them inside of your course platform by any means necessary. You get them in there. Once you get them in there, that's when you start setting everything up in there. Now, it's a hassle. It is a hassle. Number one. Number two, I don't care what membership platform you use. It will go sideways on you. The owner of the platform will do something that will baffle you, and you think, how could you that's just the crazy. Why would you all do that? That's gonna happen. So trust me when I tell you this. I don't care who's running the platform. I don't care what it is. I don't care how wonderful it is when you bought it. This is going to happen to you when you set it up. It could be a year from now. It could be a month from now. It's going to happen. You're going to wake up. You're going to get an email, and you're going to think, that's just the craziest thing. Why are you all doing that? Why are you all doing that? It's making me so. Trust me, every membership platform does that. It will ultimately make it hard for you. However, it's still better. It's still better than giving people a download. Now, that's the way some people are going to want it. That's not what you want. Again, remember, we talked about this weeks ago. Why are you doing that? Well, you're trying to get people to get onto a watch page so they can they can be on that watch page. Why? So you can monetize them, so you can sell some more, so you can live for live to sell another day as a marketer, right? So you will not get to live another day if all you can do is kind of get them in and make one sale. You've got to get them in so they can see everything you got to offer. This is something that Dan Kennedy said that, and I'm probably quoting Dan Kennedy all the time, but your customer probably has more of a capacity to buy from you than you have the capacity to sell to them. So in other words, you probably don't have enough products to give your customer that would help them in what they're trying to do. That's one of the reasons why you really need to get all your stuff into one place. You got to get it, make it available for sale, and you got to be telling people about it, because if you don't, they're going to go they're just going to go someplace else and get it. And so one of the things I really try to stress to our ultimate insiders is that you've got to be making offers, because in general the it, in general the good people in internet marketing don't ask for the sale enough, right? You sort of think, well, they're bigger. When I'm not fancy as they are, and people go and they buy this crazy stuff. People buy that stuff sometimes because they're bored and because they don't really have enough contact with good people. And so one of the reasons why, and one of the reasons that we're doing Ultimate Insiders the way we do it, is so that good people can make offers. Good people can get people into their member area and really, really, really help people and teach them. I don't care what you charge, right? If you want to charge $800 a month, it doesn't matter to me what you charge, right? You should charge what your market wants from you. But what you do have to do is you've got to be one of the people that are going to be out there, because complaining about all the junk products that people buy, that's not going to help people. Trying to be their savior is not going to help them. What you can do is you can be an educator of them. And so you need to be out there. You've got to make offers so that your voice is heard, so that people can find you. That's why you've got to be out there. That's why you've got to be on YouTube. It's not because you're wonderful. Maybe you are. I mean, yeah, you are wonderful, right? Um, but you've got to be there because if there are not a good enough good voices there with common sense who are willing to do right by people, where do people go? They get bored and they're thinking, it's not working. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna go buy this. I think maybe this. I'm not gonna tell anybody. But this guy says if I push this button, all the money's gonna start coming in. That's what people do. And so and so, because if you do, and if you're not engaging your customers, right? If you're not writing them, writing your list and trying to engage them so that you can get them into something good, I promise you, good people who are totally rational, they will go and buy the craziest things. You and I have done it, right? That one of the reasons you said, well, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. I've done it. You've done it. So, so one of the things that you got to do is you got to get people inside your course platform. You got to get them used to clicking on your buy button. You got to get them used to being in your course platform. It doesn't matter how, and you're going to take some flack, right? Because some of it's not going to work. And again, count on the course platform. Do something crazy is not going to work. Still, it's better. Um, um, and all there's one called System.io, right? If you're not going to be an Ultimate Insider, now here's what I want to tell you, right? If you're an Ultimate Insider, I give you one. Right? That's the best thing for you to do. And you can do that at the plrshow.com/insiders. Um, and you don't pay for that, right? Is it perfect? No, but you don't pay for it. And it streams the videos. So if you go try to get video streaming right now, right, every year they're going to run up that cost on you. Right. And so one of the things you can do, right, if you don't have a course platform now, I suggest, if you're an Ultimate Insider, use the one I'm giving you. Now, if you insist, and I know there's certain people they just say, "Well, I gotta have my own. I gotta pay for this." I don't know why they do, but they do. If you insist on paying for one, right? And I heard that, I suggest you try System.io. And I've heard that, oh, well, they're a bunch of spammers. People do use the email to spam now. They do use it that way. But there's no reason for you to throw out the whole platform because it has a survey on there, has a community on there, and it has sales pages on there and a host of videos for one price. Right now, I'm not a big fan of all-in-one platforms. Right? If you really want to break it up, right? You want to do your pages, let's say on Optimized Press, they click the buy button, but when they go and they actually get the course, you could put them in someplace. Whatever you put them in, you got to put them in a course platform where your stuff is, right? So once you get them inside on the watch page, it should be nothing on there but your stuff, right? It should be all kinds of links they can click on. People get curious, they start looking around, start clicking on stuff, and when they click on stuff, you could send them to an affiliate link, right? You could do that, but if you can, you want to put people into your stuff. Now you might say that I don't have. You might not have videos, um, but you could. I mean, it's very easy. I think I put it in an email last week. One of my newsletters, and I don't know which one, whether it was the insider only newsletter or the community newsletter. I don't know which one I said this, but you can take any PLR guide or ebook and go to Flip HTML, where they give you a flip book, and you've got some limits on it, right? And they put their logo on it. And if you want to pay for it, then pay for it. But most people aren't going to care. You want to put that flip book in there on the site. Now, you could give it to them as a download. I understand that. Yeah, I could give it to them as a PDF. They can watch it on their phone. That's a last resort. Why? You can't monetize that. Nobody's going to be clicking on your links when they get that PDF on their phone. They're not. If you get them to be still long enough, they're on your site, they're in your course platform, they click on the link that goes to your site to buy something else, then you've monetized, right? And so all these things. So again, that's our affiliate link right there. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be totally transparent. And what I will tell you is that if you get this through our link, then write me and tell me, show me your receipt, and then I'll give you something cool. Right. And but you don't have to do this one. Again, you can do the now go high level, what you're going to find out. You compare these two. Go high level is really for people who want to be an agency, right? If you want to give other people their own site, right? That's what you want to sell. That's more expensive, right? It's more expensive than System.io, but it is a way to do that. So let's say that you're teaching people and you want to, and it's an interesting business model. Let me kind of clue you in on the business model, right? So you're going to need mostly master resale rights to do this. That's not what we sell, but let's say that you bought master resale rights. What you basically giving people a site with their content already done. So yeah, you're gonna outsource. You're gonna get people. You're gonna get the sites made up. You're gonna get the HTML pages turned into the platform pages. And just gonna give them a site on your site, and you charge what you want because you can't. It's kind of hard to start playing with price in our market, but outside of our market, you have no idea what that's worth to somebody. Go to a life coach, right, who has no products, who doesn't know how to do technical stuff, and you tell them, five, I've got five preloaded uh, um, uh, personal development products, all in this site. All you got to do is put your buy button on there, right? So that's what you could do with Go High Level, right? So that's a kind of thing you could do if you were an agency. Right now, again, if you could do the same thing with System.io, right? You're going to give me a share link, but agency level is something different. Now, what you want to do is you want to sell your stuff, right? Then again, if you're an Ultimate Insider, I suggest that you do it with the platform we give you. If you don't have one, now I don't, I, you know, um, we are content people, right? Now we will give you access to this, but we are still content people. I'm not in the software business. It's a service that I do for Ultimate Insiders, and I will do that for you also, right? If that's where you're going. What time is it? It's 7:30. Uh, I thought this was going to be 5 minutes, and it turned out. So I'm not going to do any of the Canvas stuff that I was going to do tonight. But that's kind of like a how-to in terms of like how you go about this. And let me see if there are any questions. Okay, so Jim's question is, would you call Go High Level a membership platform or something more than that? It's an agency platform. So it is a way for you to sell access to people to give them web services. So it's really for people who want to have an agency, let's say in a local area, even though you could run it to give people a start in their online business. So, in other words, depending on how much work you're willing to do, you're basically going to say, I'm going to give you the perfect, because you can give people a blog, right? It's got a blog on there and a bunch of other stuff, right? So you're basically giving people what's called a sub account, and then they're going to be able to operate their business or their online business. So it's like a membership site, but what you're doing is it's a meta membership site. So in other words, it's a membership site of membership sites. And so you are giving people a membership site to make to run their business and sell stuff. Okay, let me kind of go here. Yeah, so yeah, for example, Gail's a good example. Gail uses Optimize Press 3, uses Wishlist Member, and Core Secure. So she's got, I guess, combination of things, right? And so you want to find the combination of things that work for you, right? All right. Thank you, William. Looks like William's in and out. Okay, Jim from South Florida, Jupiter Jim. Anna Shea is here, and Sharon's here, and let's see, Buddy T. Okay, so um, I see. Gail's platform is called Course Secure. It's a wish list LMS, she says. Okay, so you know, if I stop here, I'm actually gonna keep my 30 minutes. You know, yeah, Gail, I can stay within 30 minutes. Yeah, I can. All right, so if I start right now, it's good. I'm gonna be right at 30 minutes. All right. Any questions? Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, yeah, you know, the Canva part is just it's gonna take another. I didn't mean to go this long with this, right? So it is, yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna do the Canva part. I've got to do the DFY live masterclass. So I'll just save that for that. And I will tell you one thing. Let me run through one thing, and then that is it, right? Let me just show you one thing. Um, Now I got a question today from I think it was can I remember her name? Um, and so she wanted to know about PSD files in Canva. So you can bring your PSD files into Canva, right? So if you go into Canva and you go to your create design, you're going to see you want to click on that button that says import file, and then what happens is when you click on that button and you go to get the file from your hard drive, it's not going to show the PSD files. It's gonna make it look like those files are unavailable, and Canva won't get those files, right? So basically, what you're going to have to do is now this is Windows. Now you may have to do something different with a Mac, but you've got to go to all files, so it shows all the files and not just the ones that Canva says are necessary, right? For some reason, Canva does not self-select for um, PSD or Photoshop files. And when you do that, now I put this in here because I tried to do that with Edge and I crashed my computer. And it's a brand new computer, so it's something with Edge, right? So Edge is something doesn't like Edge does not like this process. Either that or the combination of things I have running on here just don't they will not do that process. So I had to do it in Chrome. And so when I do it in Chrome and I go to all files, right? If I go to all files, then the PSD file is going to be visible, right? So you can then see the PSD file. And so then you can then import that PSD file into Canva. And then, and basically, once you get it in there, it's not going to be perfect, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to get kind of jumbled, but that's fixable. Right? All those things that right there can be fixed. And so they're going to ask you for feedback, right? So give them feedback, but you can import PSD files into Canva, and you can then use them. So I so I would be taking advantage of that. So I know the person who wrote, I wish I remember her name. Um, she said that she doesn't use Photoshop, but you can take the Photoshop files and you can then put them into Canva, right? And let's see, Jane says you won't be able to turn off layers in P. Yeah, right, right. Okay, well, Jane says she wouldn't bother because you won't be able to turn off the layers. Okay, that's probably true. Right. So I can't say this is something that I've done. It's just something that when I got asked the question, I did investigate. Yes, I do have an affiliate link for Canva. It's the plrshow.com/Canva. Right. So Jane must have tried this before. Right. So Jane, I take it you've tried that. She said you won't be able to turn off the layers. Right. But that's kind of it. Right. So that's really it. I was going to do documents, but I'm not going to do all that tonight. I'm just going to say that for the DFY Live Masterclass. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, okay, everybody. We do have our Canva AI videos that went on sale today. I do want to say that if you already have our Canva 2.0 videos, this course sits on top of that course. In other words, all this course does is it really talks about the AI features. So I basically took Magic Design and really outlined what Magic Design does, but your customers still should have the fundamentals which I teach in Canva 2.0. So if you have Canva 2.0 plus this, I think you got the full picture. Now there's a little overlap because I think when I recorded that course, there were some magic features there already, but the two together are the whole story. Okay, thanks. Okay, Dana, we'll see you. Looking forward to your thing. So right, yeah. So Gail, so yeah, so it's an advance of the advance. That's a good way to put it. Um, so the advanced videos did get into the magic, but they just released some magic features. And so I decided to cover all the magic features together in this course, right? So that's a good way to think of it. So it's an advance of the advance of the 2.0. Yep, yep. Any other questions? Any other questions? Um, okay, so Jim's asking what the magic part is. Um, okay, so the um, magic Canva magic design. So Canva now has magic design. It's all generative AI tools. So basically, I mean, I don't know why you use Canva to do this, but you could go in, you could have Canva write you a blog post. Now, everybody does that stuff with Chat GPT and all the other stuff, but Canva's got it. They've also got they've got an image generation feature. It's not great. I would still use Midjourney, and these days I might use uh, DALL-E inside of Chat GPT, but it's there, right? I've not found it to be great inside of Canva. I've not found the image generation to be great. I think they give you something like 500 credits a month, which is a lot, and it's not great. I have not found it to be here. I have not been able to get it to produce what I can produce in Midjourney. So yeah, so Magic when it comes to Canva, Jim, is Canva Magic Design. And so this Canva AI course really talked about Canva Magic Design and all the magic features, and that course sits on top of the Canva 2.0 course. Yes, David. This AI course will be one you purchase. You can purchase inside of the inside of your member area. Yep, and you will get your insider discount. So if you go to the member area, just use your insider discount, and you'll get it. You'll get it at a steep insider discount. All right. Any other questions? I will just kind of close out with this. And if you're not a technical person, um, the way you go with these platforms is you approach them and just the way that you test its limits is just assume it's supposed to do something. So that's how you find out what stuff won't do and how limited it is. Just when you say, well, this it should do this, and just start trying to figure out what it does. Um, that's how I find the limits to software. So, when I have to teach a course, I have all kinds of ideas of what I think it should do. And you know what? Sometimes I find that I will find something that's not in the help screen because I just assume these things are supposed to work. I assume these things are supposed to integrate. And when you assume it's supposed to do all this wild stuff and you keep trying to find out if it does, then a lot of times you'll find out no, it doesn't. But often what you'll find is that it does, even though it does not say it does. Or you'll find out that they're going to turn this on, or they've already turned it on. They haven't told everybody. So I would just say that with Canva, it's the same thing. You got to get in and kind of use it. Um, start trying to push the limits by thinking, okay, what if I were creating this for me, this is what it would do, and then start trying to figure out what those things are. Okay, it looks like there are a few more questions. All right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me here. Have a great weekend, great night, and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.